Good evening, good morning. If people are out there from all over, I know we have West Coast because Rainy's here, and so it's nice that everyone here is a big fan of Brian Darnell. This spotlight on the poets came out of Artie in the morning and evenings, where we have really been enjoying Brian's work. And Brian is from Athens, Georgia, and he has written 2 novels and 4 books of poetry. He's a dad. His sons have a musical group called the Darnell Brothers, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And he is a musician himself. He has 2 or 3 CDs. Is that right, Tim?
I'm not sure of the number. 2. At least 2.
And I know of 2. So he and I have had the opportunity when he came up to Gil and Chitra's house in Durham, North Carolina, to the Chapel Hill group. He's been up there to sing for us. And so I understand that we do this with Brian's endorsement. He likes that we do this. It's not, Zoom is not his thing, but poetry is, and that's plenty for us. So with that, I'm hoping I see some raised hands, or yes, Noreen's going to start us, and we may do a round robin. It just depends on how many I'll get something to write on, because sometimes it works well that way. But we can also just do raised hands. So I guess at this point, just raise your hands. And what a gift it is to be able to know this person, and for him to love Baba as he does, and he puts it into words that really move us. So Noreen, go ahead.
Good. Are we all going to stay unmuted? Is that how it's going to work? Okay.
We're a pretty civil group.
I should think so. No interruptions. This is what will happen. What had to happen has happened, said Mayhair. And what has to happen will happen. The Avatar is one with karma, it seems. Not an agent of change, but of fulfillment. There is no what might be. There is only what will happen. Time is not linear and endless, but thinner than a razor's edge. No past, no future, and thus no change. Time, chance, change, choice, effort, and hope, the tentacled conceptual foundations of illusion. O child of God, you always were, you always are, and always will be. There is only what has to happen, and it will. Jai Baba.
Jai Baba. Oh, thank you for getting it off to a great start. Brian makes it easy for us, though, doesn't he? I mean, even if we hadn't selected our favorites, we could just open up and we would be fine. Shelley, all right.
Hello. I'm going to be reading from the Garden of Surrender tonight. And I'm guessing everybody here knows that book, but it's in 4 parts. It's The Path, Wine, Devotion, and Surrender. I'm going to try to read one from each, so let's see. Okay, this is from The Path. These are the heart tears tinged with blood. My beloved knows every hidden grief. I try to be strong for you, but we both know how crippled I am. Won't you carry me for a ways, that I might bury my face in your throat? That I might be held, body and soul, close to you. Oh, beloved, stay within my sight. Your pink coat, sheer sadra, flowing hair. Keep glancing over your shoulder to make sure I'm there, in earshot of your hand clap. Oh, beloved, my heart is yours to range freely until the day the whole realm of my being lies under your chapels. O child of God, the heart is a mountainous country, beautiful valleys to cross. Your beloved walks it with you, back to the garden from which you came. Jai Meher Baba.
Thank you so much, Shelley. What a great idea to pull a poem from each of the four different divisions of the book. I'm looking forward to more of them. That was delightful. All right, Rainey, go ahead.
You're muted. There we go.
There was a new one today. The Gardens of Christ. In Merazad's quietude, no one around, not even myself, opposite Mandalay Hall, the pillowed floor, the adorned chair, not having the heart to enter or even to step upon the veranda or around back to mount the narrow stoop to his bedroom door. Instead, I sit in the weeping dust, a mortal, cumbersome sacrilege in the gardens of the Christ. How headless, how heedless and indulgent were my visits. How unsettled and self-centered among the Mandalay. More concerned with fitting into a foreign milieu than bearing my soul to a majesty and grace I had not imagined existed, nor ever could exist. And the mercy then and now of my Lord overwhelming me in the imagined Merazad dust, as he forgave and forgives my ignorance, my trespass, my effrontery, and bids me welcome as no one ever has, ever had, or ever could. He bids me welcome. O child of God, as that Rumi said, you knew my coins were counterfeit, but you accepted them anyway.
Delightful, Rainey. Thank you so much, and hot off the press. So how lucky are we?
Truly.
Very inspiring. Oh, we are going to have a song.
We'll have
Tim. Thank you, Tim.
Musical interlude here. I just love his songs, and they're so exposing. He lays his heart right out there, and this one does it as well. Not just Roses on a String. This is kind of a new one for me. Not just roses on a string, but the fear and the hate and the anger I bring, let me lay them down at your feet. Not the pretty words I sing, but the pride and the envy and the thoughts unclean, let me lay them down at your feet. Every burden too heavy to bear, let me bring to you and lay them there. Every stain within my heart, everything that keeps us apart, everything that keeps us apart. Not just roses on a string, but the ways and the world, the ways of the world to which I cling, let me lay them down at your feet. Not just the smiles and words of praise, but the sin and the sorrow and my willful ways, let me lay them down at your feet. Every burden that I carry around, let me bring to you and lay them down. Every sin I hold on that keeps me, Baba, from you, that keeps me from you. Not just roses on a string, but my soul and my body and my everything. Let me lay them down at your feet. Let me lay them down, lay them down. Let me lay them down at your feet. Not just roses. Jai Baba.
Beautiful.
Baba.
Wonderful. Wow.
How fortunate we are to have Tim here, and maybe someone else can do music, but to bring that aspect of Brian Darnell here is just sublime. Thanks, Tim. Looks like Betty's got something chosen for us.
This is from A Jewel in the Dust called Love is a Lion. O pilgrim, you ask for illumination, but why give a lantern to a blind man? Give your hand to the God-man, grow accustomed to his gait. Truth eludes your half-hearted steps. Dark is the path ahead. Yes, faith is blind, but prick up your ears, lick your thumb, follow that lingering scent of purity. He was silent for a lifetime. You keep silent now, or say the name which leads to silence, the name of the silent one, Meher Baba. O child of God, you want to hold love in your lap like a kitten, but love is a lion.
Wow. All right. I think Elizabeth has something for us.
Yes, first, yeah, I picked out several. Have I read The Platypus to this group before?
Oh, read it now.
Okay.
It's a favorite, so I don't know. It's always wonderful to hear it.
Oh, okay. I mean, I have some others, but anyway, The Platypus. I have evolved similar to the platypus, according to certain aquatic necessities, in spite of my sedentary, faintly terrene attributes. It left me a rather misshapen hodgepodge, wondering at my true nature, if ever I was or ever should have considered myself a river creature. This late in the game, I hope to construct a reed hut somewhere on the bank, sit and watch the river flow where it will, and not be tempted to dip my hands, wet my feet. No thought to follow where the river might lead, no attempt to seek nourishment there, to seek a life. O child of God, you are not the body or mind, per Meher, of that illusion-soaked and oddly shaped creature. Jai Baba.
That was so splendid. It's always wonderful to hear them over and over. Just makes them blossom. So thank you. Looks like Noreen's got another one for us.
Yeah,
Good deal,
I never
Noreen.
heard that one before.
Noreen?
Where did it come from?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, so all of the ones I'm going to be reading from are Sadhana
Oh,
by Brian Darnell. It's kind of a thick one.
yeah, it is. But I thought I read the entire book several times and I missed that one. So,
I was drawn to the name,
Yeah.
the idea of a platypus for a
Yeah.
poem.
okay. This is a new one, The Fiction of Existence. In this realm of dust and flesh, we journey through various stages of grief and death, hope and birth, dread and lust. In that other realm, Baba says we've never left home, gathered around the hearth as our Father tells the great adventure made up on the spot, his rapt listeners taken vicariously through the gamut of human experience. There's no urgency in the fire's glow. No deed to accomplish, no timeline to follow, nor lessons to learn. Not one true thing to relinquish. We have only to absorb the tale, cling to our faith in the storyteller and in ourself, until those destined words we hear, happily ever after. O child of God, to believe in the Father is to believe in the fictitiousness of the tale.
I gotta say, his imagery is just. I'm sitting in front of the fire, listening to the storyteller, Jai Baba, Brian. Woo!
And everybody just jump in. This is a nice intimate group. We know each other. So perfect, Tim. When you've got something that you want to say, just jump in there and say what moves you. I'm gonna read one. And this is from Spoken For, a book of poems. It's on page 96. To love. To love God in the most practical way, Mayor Baba said, is to love our fellow beings. I nod always, mumble under my breath, yes, because everyone is you. But one day you whispered in return, because lover, to love is to love God. The sculptor grinds the chisel to a perfect level. The sawyer sharpens the blade's teeth. The cutting torch, the welder adjusts to the precise admixture of acetylene and oxygen. Now the flame can cut steel. It is the purity of love that shapes and sharpens the chisel, the blade, the flame, allowing for the cutting through, the paring down, the severing. O child of God, to love us is to teach the heart how. To love is to love God. Avatar Meher Baba Ki Jai. All right. Thought Noreen had a hand up, but Elizabeth does. So everybody just put your hands up and go for it.
So it was a toss-up between an emphatic breach and bamboo and rope. I think I'm going with the emphatic breach. It's page 19 in Sadhana. An emphatic breach. In the pouring rain, the old man said, I do not get wet. And one day, not as theory or concept, but in a clear, emphatic breach, I answered, of course, of course. Somewhere from a dry, rustling field where he stood and spoke, the words reached me over 30 years, but more. Over centuries and continents, oceans and dynasties, a crack of the door, the stones of the temple and the lush gardens behind the walls, the crumbling old myths, the earth shook, dislodged a stone, the shift of an ancient foundation upon which everything I am and seem to be, everything I know and seem to know, rest. O child of God, the flowers of the garden unfold strictly according to God's schedule. Jai Baba.
Great selection, beautifully read. Thank you, Elizabeth.
Welcome.
And we do have Noreen, so go ahead.
I didn't think I should just keep my hand up. I thought I'd put it down for a minute. Okay, this one is called Like Love. Freedom of a sort is belief in an ironclad destiny, leaving one with little to contest, relieved of the onus, if not the habit, of evaluation, approval, or censure. The idea of free will is intrinsically bound to the idea of human autonomy, with its associated errors, sins, failures, and regrets. Like love itself, faith in destiny sets one free from judgment, holding no one, none of us, responsible for our human nature, for the karma we've inherited, and for who in ignorance and illusion we have taken ourselves and others to be. O child of God, your perceptions are threatening to turn your whole world upside down. Jai Baba.
Splendid, splendid. I love the way you read the poems and how much you love Brian. You are his number one fan, and I think I'm number two. I think we all would be fighting to be at the head of the line. Shelley is one of those people who is a big fan. Go ahead, Shelley.
Well, if I'm not one or two, then I'm certainly three. Everyone has had wonderful choices, really, really nice. I don't know if everyone here has had the pleasure of hearing Brian in person, but when he gives a concert, he doesn't just sing songs. He'll do a few songs and then read a few poems. And it is so wonderful to hear the poet read his own poetry. It is wonderful. And I just love to hear him read. Okay, this is from the section of the book entitled Wine. Weary from the road, I entered a dark tavern where songs of the beloved were being sung. The patrons' voices, thick with longing, eyes shining with intoxication. They welcomed me like a brother, arms draped over my shoulders. I began to weep for their love and for the beloved. I envied their pain. Outside the traffic roared, the sun set, but inside the tavern, no time passed. The patrons grew frail and departed one by one, but no time passed. I longed for the hopelessness of their longing. My last hope was that being among them, that same love would ignite in me. And so it happened. One night, the beloved held his cup to my lips, my first taste of the wine that causes such great thirst. He whispered that time was the illusion that caused me to think that we were ever apart. O child of God, time is the illusion that makes you think there is any distance between you and the beloved. Jai Baba.
Jai Baba, Shelley. Just nice to have you, and excellent to have Jeremy too. He's such a big fan, and so I'm glad he's in the room.
Maybe he'll read.
Oh, good. And we have Rosalie, who's with us, and it's always a delight to have her as well. I'm going to read again from the Garden of Surrender, Poems to the Divine Beloved, and this is Horseflies, found on page 38. Oh, beloved, you are the white horse avatar. We are a swarm of horseflies trailing behind. Dropping your earthly body, you became a great celestial horse, magnificent beyond imagination and conception. Loosened from the harness of physicality, you regained infinite power. Now a few of the horseflies have begun to buzz philosophical discussions about words, meanings, priorities, and agendas. They argue about the direction the horse should be led. O child of God, how can a swarm of horseflies control the direction of the great celestial horse? And who wants to follow where horseflies lead? O child of God, follow the great horse within you. Let his silent purpose lead you to the ultimate goal. Jai Baba. Let's have a musical interlude from Tim.
That was a funny one, Gayle.
I thought I'd be really bold here and do a duet with Tim, with me reading a poem first and then him singing it. But I'm not going to tell Tim what it is first because I know he'd know it and I can't find my chords. So I'll read it and then Tim, just on a dime, will do it.
Oh boy.
Like
That's
around
called
Mandalay. You know, when you're raised by a Mandalay, you got to be on the dime, right? I got that down. Tonight, Brian Darnell. Night, Mayhair, I'm an empty cup. Let your love pour down and fill me up. A glint in your wine is all I long to be, and to feel your love flowing all around me. Tonight, while the moon is in flight, with the saints gathered above us at incredible heights, while the stars shout your praises with all of their might, let me love you like there's no tomorrow. Tonight, I can hear a celestial band and heavenly music adrift on the wind. The whisper of an angel lets me know that you're near. Serenade me tonight with your love song, my dear. Tonight I can feel the earth as it spins away from this moment that won't come again. Holy ground below me, the heavens above lift me up tonight on the wings of your love. Tonight, while the moon is in flight, with the saints gathered above us at incredible heights, while the stars shout your praises with all of their might, let me love you like there's no tomorrow. Tonight.
Tonight, Mayhair, I'm an empty cup. Let your love pour down and fill me up. A glint in your wine is all I long to be, and to feel your love flowing all around me. Tonight, while the moon is in flight, with the saints gathered above us at incredible heights, while the stars shout your praises with all of their might, let me love you like there's no tomorrow. Tonight I can hear a celestial band and heavenly music adrift on the wind. The whisper of an angel lets me know you are near. Serenade me tonight with your love song, my dear. Tonight, let the fortress ignite. Shatter all of my windows, throw the doors open wide. Like a ship on your ocean, sinking slowly from sight, let me love you like there's no tomorrow. Tonight I can feel the earth as it spins away from this moment that won't come again. The holy ground below me and the heavens above lift me up tonight on the wings of your love. Tonight, while the moon is in flight, with the saints gathered above us at incredible heights, while the stars shout your praises with all of their might, let me love you like there's no tomorrow. Tonight, let the fortress ignite. Shatter all of my windows, throw the doors open wide. Like a ship on your ocean, sinking slowly from sight, let me love you like there's no tomorrow. Tonight, let me love you like there's no tomorrow. Tonight, let me love you like there's no tomorrow. Tonight.
Bravo.
Hey, Baba.
I done.
Good
I
idea, Rainey. That was terrific to
Yeah.
a perfect lead in, and it's wonderful to hear it as poetry as well. But Rainey, find your musical instruments and serenade us with some of his work. We can't let you just read. And let's go to Betty.
All right, I have two dealing with childhood. One is called Toddler. Each morning I say the prayers I have for years, words well worn, rolling off my tongue, slightly sweet like prasad. I begin earnestly, but soon my mind drifts away like a lost kite, like a boy gazing from his classroom window, or a toddler nodding off in the pew. Would anyone fault that schoolboy for preferring the day's green pleasures or the child off to dreamland under a preacher's sonorous tones? I go easy on myself, saying the words you left, trying to keep awake, trying to stay focused on the blackboard at the head of the class. Oh, child of God, it's arrogant to consider yourself more than a toddler playing at the master's feet. And if it's okay, I'll read another one with a similar theme. It's okay.
Go
It's
for
called The Last Excursion. You said, hold on to your daman like a child in the marketplace holds to its mother's skirt. I find that when I dawdle, distracted by the crowd, enticements in the shop windows or a shining trifle in the gutter, you slow your step to wait for me. When I run ahead, sure I know the way, letting go of you in pride and excitement, or when I tug on your skirt to direct you the way I want to go, you keep your patient, loving pace and guide me gently toward the goods we came for and the true road home. O child of God, hold on to his daman until the last excursion when you have come of age. Jai Baba.
Oh, Betty, it was nice for you to pair those.
Yeah.
What a great idea.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Let's hear from, how about Elizabeth?
Okay, so when we were reading the Platypus, there was a mention of reeds. And so this one is about bamboo, which is similar. So bamboo and rope on page 70 in Sadhana. You were silent without motive, but so many fine repercussions, one being a palpable demonstration of love as emanation, independent of articulation, subtle in its strength, a shared universal, indwelling presence and recognition. Words are for the makeshift bamboo and bridge, words are for the makeshift bamboo and rope, bridging of distances, while silent love reveals the illusion of distance, an evolving response, a steady permeation, holding together the hope of the world. O child of God, bite your tongue, even as you write this poem down. Do you want me to read it again?
Sure.
Why not?
Sure.
Okay. Bamboo and rope. You were silent without motive, but so many fine repercussions, one being a palpable demonstration of love as emanation, independent of articulation, subtle in its strength, a shared universal, indwelling presence and recognition. Words are for the makeshift bamboo and rope bridging of distances, while silent love reveals the illusion of distance, an evolving response, a steady permeation holding together the hope of the world. O child of God, bite your tongue, even as you write this poem down. Shea Baba.
What a good idea. They're just so wondrous. It's lovely to hear it twice. We're going to go for Rainy next, and Noreen, you're on deck.
Well, I thought it only fair, seeing as I put Tim on the spot, that I put myself on the spot. I shall improvise a melody to a great one called Old Lover, seeing as many of us are old lovers, with an old melody from the 14th or 13th century, I believe. Let's see if it fits, Tim. I'm game if you're all game.
Sure.
Yes, definitely.
You have to play A minor, Tim. Time upon me now is like a dog, gnawing the gristle off a bone, body shrinking behind a hesitant smile, at the mercy of everything that moves. Undertaking the mirror, dressing a corpse, which way to part the hair across the skull. Loose dirt under my heels will soon rain upon my casket, look like the knocking on a door. Let death and I be well acquainted, an old lover with whom I flirted for years. Tuck death under my arm, and everywhere I go I shall hear shallow breathing, and your deep everlasting silence. Oh, child of God, kiss death. Oh, child of God, kiss death before you die. And the masters say, taste life eternal. Oh, child of God, kiss death before you die. And the masters say, taste life eternal.
Wow.
That was just
Wow.
I'm blown away. We've got Rainy and Brian. Rainy, what a lovely idea. You just nailed it. That was so wonderful. I'm glad this is recorded so we can go back and see it. And
Me too.
thank you for that.
Me too,
Thank
Tim.
you. Thank you.
But
Just splendid.
it's very it's very dramatic, you know, when it's the A minor, it's, you know,
Oh.
da 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 da,
Wow.
da 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 da, da 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 da, da 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 da. So I can do it again now. Now that I've done it.
Fabulous. Oh my goodness.
A bit more squeezing, and we've got a new Brian Darnell from the 14th century, probably from the Troubadours.
Song is born. Wow.
Hooray!
Yeah. Rainy, was that in one of his books, one of Brian's books?
It's on his website, Gamela, in the Gamela section, I think.
Good. Thanks.
I just took it, old Avatar Maya Baba. Well, it's on avatarmayababa.org.
Yeah, I know I know the blog spot.
Dozens of them, yes. And this one's nice because it's 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8 couplets. It's not too long if you're blowing it, you know. You can repeat the couplet.
This is such a delightful evening. Go ahead, Noreen.
Okay, this is from A Jewel in the Dust. And if Brian were here, I would say, Brian, when did you ever make a wrong book. Not Jewel in the Dust. Spoken for, never mind. Brian, when did you ever make an angel in the snow? I mean, how does somebody from Athens, Georgia know about making a snow angel? But this is called An Angel-Less God. Into the snowdrift I fall backwards to make an angel. But, gazing upon an endless sky, The stars glitter, the moon's silent shifting, cold earth against my back. I feel suddenly under the thumb of an angel-less God, overwhelmed by the travails and duration of my soul's exile, and how many more arduous journeys stretch before me, till the promised quenching, rest, and reunion. Then you hoist me to my feet. God's shape, you say, is this shape, pointing to the impression my body has left in the snow. O pilgrim, your portion of infinity spans but fingertip to fingertip. The duration of your vigil measured by the heart's brief, pattering flurry. Union may be far away, but God is close at hand, nearer than your own breath. O child of God, surely angels hover everywhere in the realm of benevolence eternal. Jai Baba.
Beautiful.
Awesome. That was absolutely, I do not use that word casually, but that was awesome. All right, Shelley, what have you got for us?
Okay, I didn't know what to read from the devotion section, so I just opened in at random. So let's see. Okay. Oh, beloved, tonight as these prayers are being said, looking out upon the bowed heads of your lovers, in my heart also heads are bowed. Voices blending in arti, there are voices and harmonies within me as well. And as I kneel for your darshan in the tomb shrine of my heart, there is also a kneeling. On this nondescript hill, a small group of your lovers has gathered tonight from around the world. We have come to bow down to the holiest part within us and all human beings. What a long journey to reach this humble abode. O beloved, in your tomb shrine, I have found my refuge. In the shrine of my heart, let me offer you refuge. Jai Baba.
Wow.
So, Shelley, I guess Baba picked that one for you, and a great one indeed.
He picked it. He's good at this.
Baba is good at this, and Brian is close to Baba because he has all the wonderful things to say about Baba.
Yes.
I'm going to read, and then we'll see who else is up next. I'm reading from Spoken For, a book of poems, page 90, Head Over Heels. To indicate the effect breaking his silence would have upon the world, Meher Baba once cupped his hands to form a globe and then deftly flipped it over. Why shouldn't I believe him? Secure within the predictable and familiar orbits and juxtapositions of various touchstones and landmarks, well accustomed to the daunting pattern of stars spinning above my head, the dependable earth beneath my feet, my Lord mercifully upended my world, set me upon a path through a foreign territory, everything new, strange, and oddly out of whack. Even today, years later, whenever I come close to regaining my equilibrium, reacquiring my bearings, with a swift sweep of his hand, he clears the playing board. He once formed a globe with his hands and then flipped it. Upside down, someone said, interpreting the gesture. No, he wryly corrected, right side up. Oh, child of God, celebrate the moment you fell head over heels in love with your beloved. That just sends me. Avatar Meher Baba Ki Jai, thanks to Brian. All right, we're gonna have Rainey, and then Elizabeth is on deck.
I see Jeremy with a book, so come on back, Jeremy.
Jeremy, did you want to go?
No, he's out of the picture right now.
Oh, gracious. He's doing his practice of the presence of God in the kitchen. Brother Lawrence work. This is from avatarmayababa.org. All us poets get a whole section on that by Solabaki. And this is Brian's section on.
Can you get closer to the mic, Rainey?
This is on Eric Solabaki's avatarmap.org has a whole section on all the poets and all our poetry. And this is in that. I've always loved this one. Sky blue coat. I followed a map of the world. It turned down a narrow path leading to the ocean. From there I could see nothing matters but the folding of myself into you. Then let love be my measure and my guide. I've known love enough in this lifetime to know it's not blind, but wide-eyed and vigilant. Not intoxication, but an unearthly sobriety penetrating the chronic delirium of the false view. How wondrous the heart. At the same time, an encrusted anchor and a fluttering bird. An encrusted anchor and a fluttering bird. Bruised rose and captured hair, a torch, a goblet, and an upraised fist and weathered valise. The pages where my story is written fold and tuck them away into the pocket of my beloved sky blue coat. O child of God, drop your bags and run headlong into the Master's arms.
Oh my, what a terrific one. Great choice, beautifully read. I know you don't think you have an accent, but we think you have a beautiful accent. It's so lovely to hear you read. Elizabeth, what have you got for us?
Well, I've got two, but start out with Think of Noah, but on the opposite page, I just read another one. Anyway, Think of Noah, page 210 from Sadhana. Start your own project, Rumi advised. As absurd as Noah laboring daily in the sandy shade of the ship's hulk, not a drop to show for all his devotion, his lofty pronouncements and endeavors, his self-opposition far harder to ignore than the public's derision, those habitual lapses of faith and resolve, empty, arid days, nights of isolation and confusion, seductive arguments for capitulation and abandonment, and doubt. Would it not all come down to a great dusty naught? Start your own project, Rumi advised, constructed daily, the ribs of an inward sturdy vessel, contrary to your own, and all apparent worldly reason, wisdom, and evidence. O child of God, whenever you distrust your inner God-directed duties, think of Noah. Jai Baba.
Oh, excellent.
What a line.
Yeah, he has a way with words, doesn't he?
Doesn't he?
Sort of.
Yeah.
Thank you, Elizabeth. Let's go for Rainey.
Cultivate a thirst. A starving man, so the proverb goes, has only one problem. How many problems have you, O child? Vain and pampered, attired in propriety, having gotten another belly full of the world. Who would drop a coin into your cup? Never mind that your poverty is real beneath these fashionable robes. It's not renunciation that's required, but acknowledgement and confession. Cultivate a thirst, Rumi said. Lovers who burn ache for a quenching. A man in a lifeboat may draw water from the sea, slaking his thirst, but dooming himself, failing to satisfy the deep need within. O child of God, hold out your begging bowl. Nothing matters but love for God.
How dear. Oh, he has so many gears, doesn't he? Just so many ways to help us experience the fullness of Baba. Thanks. Thank you very much. Let's see who we've got. We've got Elizabeth, and Noreen is on deck. And then Jeremy after that. Excellent. Okay.
This is the one on the opposite page, A Beautiful Confusion, page 211. I've taken up watercolors, by the way, after all these years in the sculptor's studio. Foregone the hammer, which I have dearly loved for its weight and authority, and the heavy productive clinking in my ears. No more trying to chisel and pound the amorphous hardness into an image of my choosing, or as near as I could get to it with these human hands. I started painting out of habit with the same sort of bold strokes, and then I would fill in the delicate colors. But of late, through necessity and inner guidance, I have abandoned all shapes, boundaries, and distinctions. I put the wonderful colors to the delicate paper and let them run where they will. No strategy, no aim, no standards now, no communication beyond myself and my muse. Just a beautiful confusion. The colors, whose distinctions are but a trick of light, blend and bleed into one another. A crude, necessary attempt at return to the colorless oneness from which they emerged. O child of God, you are brushing up against the blurry edges of the mystery.
Wow, that gave me chills. Oh my goodness, what a spiritual and beautiful poem.
Yeah.
Jeremy is on deck and Noreen is up.
Okay. Am I unmuted? Yes. This is My Entirety. I put together in my youth a jigsaw puzzle, though its image never quite coalesced, having moved the incongruent pieces off to the precarious, dream-tinged edges, afraid to examine their contradictions. But in a late quest to get the one true picture, I've learned to welcome them back, the awkward and mismatched, the ironies, improbabilities, and jumbles, no longer trying to fit them snugly into place, no longer taking them as proof of my inadequacy, nor the untrustworthiness of my universe, but as evidence of the wondrous inscrutability of creation, the quirky, impenetrable puzzle of my entirety, the ultimate mystery to which I must attend, yielding in obeisance every alienating objection. O child of God, to move nearer to your Father, seek contentedness within the enigma. Say Papa.
Good one.
Thank you,
You're
Nora.
muted, Gayle.
The variety, Noreen, that you choose is so amazing. Oh my goodness, that was a lovely one. Jeremy, you're up and Tim is on deck.
Okay, I'm going to read a poem called Darkness Gathers, which I found on Brian's website, but it says it's from the book called A Jewel in the Dust. I used to panic not feeling your touch, but now I know you're only adjusting your grip. You have your hand on me. That's the rare kernel of this odd random life. My comfort in this dreamscape of impairment, bewilderment, and fear. I've gladly forked over all my cash. The truth will come out in the end. Someone will be by to collect my ticket. I'll give him the one you purchased. Authorities will ask for my papers. We'll find out who I really am. Darkness gathers as the train hurtles toward the outer provinces. The cold sharpens. Tongues become stranger and more raucous. I panic when I get the notion I'm a lone traveler. I don't know where I'm going, but your valise is by the window. Your scent lingers in the narrow compartment. You've just stepped out for a bit of air. O child of God, you want freedom from pain. Love is an acid that dissolves everything you hold dear. Okay, Baba.
Jeremy, that was so well read and so beautiful.
Wow.
Good one.
We're all on that train together, aren't we? So, what I like about Brian's songs are the simple yet elegant chord changes, and his melody, but of course his lyrics. And here's a soul-bearing song called "I'm Not the Man." I guess I learned early on how to stay protected. Build a wall around myself, let nobody through. By the gift and debt of love, remain unaffected. Thank God for the loneliness that leads to you. Low desires and deep regrets in a constant turning. My mistress was the world, she proved to be untrue. Through corruption and deceit, I saw your pure flame burning. Thank God for the sinfulness that leads to you. I'm not the man that I used to be. Since you gave your love to me, I don't know who I am. Finding myself is the mystery. Take what you require of me. Show me who I am. Living in your aftermath, feel like a dead man walking. Burned in the fires of love, all I thought was true. Through the ashes and the grief, I hear your true calling. Thank God for the hopelessness that leads to you. I'm not the man that I used to be. Since you shed your grace on me, I don't know who I am. Finding myself is my destiny. Take what you require of me. Show me who I am. Take what you require of me. Show me who I am. Take what you require of me. Show me who I am. Take what you require of me. Show me who I am. Take what you require of me.
Wow.
I'm not the man.
Wow, Tim, what a rendition. That was
Wow.
just top notch. You outdid yourself.
Yes,
Thank
you are
you.
the man.
He is the
But he is he's something else, isn't he?
You even
Right.
had the accent down, Tim.
Say that again, Rainey.
You had the accent down. The
You know,
intonation.
I inadvertently do channel a southern accent when
Yeah,
I.
very good. I'm impressed. I inadvertently never quite can.
Jay Bob.
All right. We've got Shelley with Noreen on deck.
Well, I have the great misfortune of having to follow Tim. Okay. Okay. So this is from the section, I'm upside down here. Wait a second. Okay. This is from the last section, Surrender, and it's the title poem called Garden of Surrender. There remains a question within the heart until by grace the beloved one answers, yes. The Christ roamed again this inhospitable earth. Can he survive the remote regions of your heart? Fly home, lovers of God, like an arrow of geese on the blue horizon. Let this river of illusion flow through empty hands. There's only one hand to grasp. Let him lead you through beautiful gardens of surrender, where all your heroes have walked before, waiting for you now with open arms. O child of God, will you enter the garden or choose to linger a few thousand lifetimes more? Jai Baba.
Shelley, I think that's my favorite of the night. Sometimes, you've read them, but they really come alive when someone reads them with so much love and passion. So thank you for that.
Thank you, Brian.
Yeah, thank you, Brian.
Thank you,
now
Brian.
We've got Noreen.
Yeah, I wonder if we should end with that one. That was like so gorgeous. And I picked a lighthearted one. So I wonder if that's appropriate or not.
It's always appropriate. Baba
Yes.
loved lighthearted.
Okay. This is a nod and a wink. How you doing? I ask friends, acquaintances, total strangers. A form of greeting, no reply necessary. No one knows the answer anyway. Just the asking, throat to ear, saying we're all on the same ship, surrounded and overwhelmed in our frailty, our mortality, ignorance, and ephemerality, by the infinite, the unpredictable, and the eternal. We pass each other on the bridge and ask, how you doing? The answer's always the same. I'm alive, surviving on the edge of terror and catastrophe, skating this depthless, unfathomable sea, breathing moment to moment as freely as possible in this inexplicable, fearsome, and wondrous existence of which we have no real knowledge or conception. We have only our faith and each other. Oh, child of God, how you doing? Answer with a nod and a wink.
Oh, that's a just delightful
I'm
way
clapping
to.
for Betty.
Well, I think we should give Brian a hearty clap and thank you. And
Brian.
whoop and holler. Woo! Thank you,
Oh,
Brian. Thank you,
love you,
Brian.
Thank you, Brian.
Oh, wow.
I'm glad you
How
got
about Avatar Meher Baba Ki Jai? Ready?
Avatar.
Avatar Meher
Meher
Baba
Baba Ki
Ki
Jai.
it.
Avatar.
Avatar Meher Baba
Baba Ki
Ki
Jai.
Jai. Avatar,
Atar
Baba.
Baba Ki Jai.
Woo!
And thanks to Tim and Noreen for being our tech support, and Betty for being our tech support.
And Rainey for the new song. Woo!
Rainey's improv.
Yes, that was so unexpected and so delightful. Well, good night and good evening to all.
Thanks,
Hey,
Gayle, for
Baba.
doing that.
Thanks,
Hey,
Gail,
Baba.
for
Yes,
facilitating
thank you, Gail.
this.
Thanks,
So
Gail.
much
Thank you
fun.
all for great
Good
shares.
night.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Okay, Baba.
Hey, Baba. Good night.
Hey,
Good
Baba.
night.
Love you all.
See you at RT.
Yeah.
See you at
Okay,
RT.
Baba.